she likes when Essence Cody is on the floor. Started out this season 20-4, dropped the last 5 of 6. However, you've got to tip your hat. 5 straight 20-win seasons in Tuscaloosa, including 4 NCAA tournament appearances. And how about the career year that Jessica Timmons is having for the Tide?
And how she's played the last 3 games, averaged about 25 points a game. This is a guard that is a threat from the 3-point line, but she also can sneak in and get to that 2nd and 3rd level of the defense. She can finish when she gets in there, or she can start spraying out to her 3-point partners in crime. So Missouri's going to have to keep her in front. It's going to be key for Missouri to keep Alabama out of the paint.
Well, familiar face, but in a new place. We're talking about Kelly Harper, the former Lady Vol great and former head coach of her alma mater, now in her first season in Columbia, Missouri with this Tiger team. Remember, she made it all the way to the SEC Tournament Championship game with Tennessee. Now, her group is here in gold and black. We're talking about the Missouri Tigers. And, oh yeah, you ever heard of Grace Slaughter? If you haven't, folks, know this name, because Grace Slaughter, 5th in scoring in the SEC.
Steffi Sorensen talked about her consistency. Listen, this is a player that you cannot put in a box. You can't say she's a wing, she's a post, she's a guard. She can do all that. She can score at multi-levels, and it's going to be important for her to carry the load today.
Tipping things off here, and it's Alabama with the control of the basketball first. Diana Collins swings it over to Tamia Scott. And Timmons inside to Cody. You talked about they took advantage of the paint despite Cody not being there. She tries to look for a shot, won't go. Carly Weathers with the offensive tip. With Joseph Vasily, Brenda Pantola, and Maggie Demon are our officials for tonight's game.
But it'd be interesting, you talked about Alabama going to Essence Cody. Well, Jordana Reisma for Missouri, number 10, is important to keep in the game. She's got to guard Essence Cody without getting into foul trouble.
Timmons, who was missing in action last year in the SEC tournament with an injury. And that one rolled out halfway down for Tamia Scott. And this Missouri lineup with Slaughter, Reisma, but also, you said Shannon Dowell was going to be one of those players that was going to make an impact for the Tigers.
Yeah, Shannon Dowell, especially when she can get to that right hand. She can get inside the paint. And listen, everybody from Missouri is a threat from the 3-point line. So if they can get in and get Alabama over-rotated, they can get some open looks.
This is a group that shoots 35% from beyond the arc, 5th best in the conference. Dowell's got to put a shot up, and Weathers deflected it. Carly Weathers, who was honored before today's game as the SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year. Scott passes up a 3-point shot, finds a wide open Carly Weathers, and it bounces off.
Did you see the motion of Alabama's offense? Penetrate in, kick, attack again, penetrate in, and then that 3-point shooter sitting there locked and loaded.
They can knock down threes, no problem. But Christy Curry told us yesterday it's going to start with their defensive effort. They want to try to walk away with the win and advance on. Off the mark, and Collins brings it down. Diana Collins flips it over. Good ball movement in the corner. Timmons looks down the 3. Well, they've had good attempts, just hasn't fallen in yet. 21-9 on the season. The flip pass in Essence Cody will go to the line.
See, the riddle that Alabama is going to have to solve in going against Missouri, they ran a matchup zone that is sometimes they're in a man, and it looks like that matchup. And so the communication of how you can screen against that zone and then get slip opportunities.
Well, a much different decibel level that we're hearing inside the arena. Earlier today, to start things off, the kids got a field trip. They got to come inside the arena, and it was loud. I'm sure Sam Gortz and Mika Ketchings, who called those games earlier, their head may be spinning after how loud it was inside here.
We already had this night session start out with a nail biter. Defensive knockout, like a tug of war. Auburn with the advantage as they advance on first win in the first round since 2024, and the first for Larry Vickers, as it's going to be Alabama basketball. #21st meeting all time between these two. Missouri with the 11-9 advantage. We talked about their regular season meeting back on January 12th. It was a 74-63 win for then number 21 Alabama. You know, we talked about both these teams like to shoot the three.
And the three falls right there from Diana Collins.
But in that first meeting, Alabama was just 6 of 17. It was Missouri that was 9 of 21. It was in the paint that Alabama won that battle 42-26. When you talk about paint with Alabama, the guards on the drive can get there.
And the good help defense from Bama on the defensive end, forcing Jordana Reisma into a turnover. So back-to-back turnovers now for the Tigers. Cody pokes it out. Scott.
You watch every time they look inside. The rotation of the help. There's like 4 gold jerseys.
Well, love the direction there from Carly Weathers, telling Collins to cut back door, finds her baseline, and it's a 6-0 lead for Alabama. This Missouri team, who had a tough stretch during conference, but lighting it up here was Chloe Sotel. Sotel, who was scoreless against Bama in the 31 minutes that she played back in January, and the sophomore gives the Tigers their first points of the game.
It's going to be interesting when Missouri gets the basketball. How do they make Essence Cody come out of the paint?
Double team baseline. Tamia Scott looks down the three and rims out. So far 1 of 5 from deep, pushing all the way and blocked. How about the rejection there? The good defense and quick hands for Bama. Back the other way as Timmons loses the handle. And the left hand layup and finish for Grace Slaughter.
You're going to see Slaughter score all over the floor. You're going to see her in transition. She can pull up the three. You're going to see her post up inside. Number 0 in the Missouri Gold.
Weathers tried to get it inside, forced it, it's turned over. And when you have a player like Grace Slaughter, I mean, just how valuable is her versatility to be anywhere and everywhere on the court?
Like I just told you, you saw her in transition. This time down, she goes down and post up. And especially when she recognizes she's got a smaller guard on her. At 6'2", her versatility is invaluable. To get out in transition, she can handle the basketball, strong finish.
A Show Me State product out of Grain Valley, the junior. Averaging nearly 19 points a game to lead the way for Mizzou.
Their last game of the regular season when they played Oklahoma, they were still in the ball game. Even though Grace Slaughter in that game was 0 for 7 from 3, she still put up 15 points.
The good scorers always find a way to score and put up points.
If the first thing's not working, you got to go to plan B, because you know you got plenty in your bag.
And off the mark for Carly Weathers. The media timeout, and we will step aside as well. It's knotted at 6 apiece, the final game of the night of the first round of the SEC tournament. Who started this game with a 6-0 lead. Since then, it's been Mizzou to answer right back as Essence Cody goes to the bench. An opportunity for one of these teams to move on and advance to face off against the 6th seed Tennessee Lady Vols, who are in the building. Can Kelly Harper face her former team? If Mizzou comes out with a win. The drive, no, from Sotel. And it's Alabama basketball. Well, Diana Collins, who have been kind of quiet as of late. She's tapered off over the last several games, but she's starting out quickly here. 2 of 2 from the floor. She's got 5 of the 6 points for the tie.
Yeah, Collins can help out in scoring from the perimeter. That'll open up the floor, give Jessica Timmons room to work.
From her knees, keeping the dribble alive is Weathers, and through traffic finds Timmons, and Timmons puts it in.
So good at getting into the paint and then playing off 2 feet, Jessica Timmons.
Fifth-year senior out of Charlotte. Bounced back and is having a career year after a season-ending injury last year. Tonight, Tyler over to Grace Slaughter. Slaughter being guarded by Collins. Tyler heaves it up for 3, no. Finding Weathers and back to Timmons. Inside to Essence Cody. And Cody took too many steps. Joy Eggbunner, excuse me, with Cody on the bench.
And now Cody's back in the game. There you go.
How about this Sunday softball tripleheader here on the SEC Network and the app? Starts with number 3 Texas taking on 24th ranked South Carolina at 1. You'll see the number 1 team in Tennessee hosting LSU. Capped off by Missouri and Florida. Another great day of softball action coming your way here on the SEC Network. But before then, you got to be tuned in to the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament with a championship game Sunday at 3 p.m. on ESPN. East Austin who checks in the game. And Alabama who has had, again, really good looks from deep. Just not going down in their favor right now. Dowell kicks it over to Jayla Smith.
I told you these teams like to pull it from 3.
Stripped away. The good defense in hands by Tyler. The give, and just not prepared to handle it was Dowell.
Both of these teams struggled at the end of the season to get a win. And so they've got to experience some success. They got to have those small games in a game to build that confidence to get on a roll.
Timmons. And for this Missouri team wanting to try to string together and find some success. And the left-hand finish won't fall. 16 and 15 overall for Mizzou. Timmons steps through. And just right now, tough to buy a bucket on both ends.
Yeah, they got to shake off a little of that frost. They're cold right now.
And we've said before, just in terms of new arena, new environment, obviously meaning so much here in the SEC, coming from behind as Tyler tried to get that one, steps on the end line. Just getting used to the depth perception and the lights in this arena, even though they shot around earlier today.
Yeah, with the arena, when you look at the backdrop, it's slanted, so you can see through the backboard, and then the lights, those corner shots is something you got to adjust to, because when you're looking, and especially if your eyes follow the flight of the ball, you can get lost in those lights.
Tried to get it over to Ace Austin, the freshman who has come in and made an impact in this program. Timmons launching from 3 again. And out and running. Oh, by Carly Weathers. And they're going to say Weathers instead fouled her on the shot, and Christy Curry can't believe that everybody in the arena thought that was
I won't see that again. Oh, yes, she got her on the arm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Good call by the officials indeed. She's like, oh, that's a great reaction right there. No way.
But what you're going to watch both of these teams do when they run in transition, let me tell you, you can get some money in the corners. If you sprint out wide, especially liking to shoot the three and balls coming down the middle of the floor, both of those teams are going to have shooters sprint to the corner. So you got options for the layup or the kick out.
Well, Abby Schreck, who's got 3 shots here, she's got 1 more to go. And the junior lines up and knocks it down. She had a dozen points in that regular season meeting against Bama, the first lead for the Tigers.
But Schreck needs to get her offense going. She struggled from the 3 against Oklahoma. She was 0 for 4. This is a player that shoots 36% from the 3-point line.
Going downhill fast is Shannon Dowell, and it rolls off. Ace Austin, the freshman, over to Timmons.
Missouri in this matchup zone.
Final minute of the first quarter. Scott at the SEC logo, off 1 foot, gets it in.
Yeah, as long as Alabama's going to be able to have that middle drive, it's going to create options for them offensively.
Dowell really overthrows Sotel. And now with single digits on the block there, Reisman couldn't get it in.
The Silva Costa's come in and been a big presence inside. They're going to have rotations at post because they want to keep Essex Cody healthy.
That 3 drained by Carly Weathers. And a 13-9 advantage. Postseason honors belong to Carly Weathers, named the 2026 SEC Scholar Athlete of the Year. And you gotta love this scene. Afterward, in the pregame, they gave her plenty house.
And look, she's just not taking normal classes. She's a nursing student, and not only does she get it done in the classroom, in the emergency room, but out here on the basketball court as well. Christy Curry refers to Carly Weathers as the glue. She is, and she serves on the basketball court like she serves in her life. She wants everybody, she wants to give to everybody, help everybody's life be better. That's why she's gonna make, if I ever get sick, I'm gonna find out where Carly Weathers is.
The senior out of Laredo, Tennessee, you heard the studio crew talking about in her final semester as a nursing student and juggling rotations and classwork along with being a high-level basketball player. Liana Jennings, the Aussie, can't finish with the left hand, but tips it out. And another opportunity, Diana Collins, who's been money tonight so far. Diana Collins, perfect 3 for 3 from the floor.
Collins is looking for a shot, too. A lot of times, Christy Curry has to encourage number 20 in white to be a shooter, but she can't just sit and watch Jessica Timmons get it done. She's got to be part of the game.
Schreck, got to get to work. Schreck from the free throw line. And Collins off the rebound. The flip to Essence, Cody. Cody, who can shoot the 3. She's only knocked down 10 this season. It's too strong.
You say only 10 for 6'4" to take 10.
Hey, look, you see what Martina Okot is doing at South Carolina? So we're seeing these bigs. Claire Strack can do that over at Kentucky. And that's one in for Jordana Reisman.
Yeah, Reagan Beers can shoot it too for Oklahoma. There's plenty of big talent in the SEC.
Hey, we'll see Reagan Beers in the 5th-seeded Oklahoma Sooners tomorrow in the 2nd game, taking on Florida. Claire Strack and company will start things off for Kentucky as they'll face Georgia.
Now, I talked about the first meeting, the advantage Alabama had with points in the paint. Right now, they're keeping that pretty easy, pretty even, and both these teams are trying to get their offense going from the 3-point line. They don't want to make this a game of horse.
Collins on the inbound. And Valencia Ramsey. Ramsey inside, number 32 in white. Who's in alongside Essence Cody. All right, so looking at Missouri, and if you're Kelly Harper and you're saying, look, we're shooting 18% from the floor right now, how do you attack?
Well, with the pressure that Alabama's applying, you got to try to look and to score off your screen opportunities. The screener be the slipper and be that option to the basket.
Well, jump ball, a hand on there from Diana Collins, and it goes back to Alabama. Well, yep. Collins, who has had an important first half thus far.
Well, Collins has had to because Timmons 1 for 6. She has struggled from the floor early on.
Weathers finds Ramsey. Inside to Cody, and nice find. Great position for Essence Cody.
Because sometimes with a post player, don't chase the ball. Stay on the backside, and then your opportunities will present itself.
Rolls off for Slaughter. And so far, again, it's been a tough shooting night thus far for Missouri. Jessica Timmons eyes the three and just not finding her shot right now, but that's okay because Essence Cody is there on cleanup duty. The putback in for Cody, the and one.
Look, when you're playing with a shooter like Jessica Timmons, you know it's going up. So where's the rebound going to come off? On that backside. So she's able to clean it up and get an opportunity at the free throw line.
Well, you think about the return of a healthy Jessica Timmons, along with Carly Weathers, Essence Cody, Diana Collins, all a part of a strong core for Christy Curry, who's come back this season. 30-second timeout. We'll step aside here as well. Come back with us to Box of Course.
You can heat it up for us, that'd be great.
Well, Lang, if you and Nell can share with the heaters you got under the desk, maybe things will heat up down here.
If only.
Sharing is caring as another assist there on the make from Jordan Reisman on the bucket. Dowell with the assist. A 7-point ball game.
And Missouri still staying in that zone. The key is they try to keep the ball out of the paint.
Buna in and just leaves it short.
Missouri's got numbers.
Lisa Thompson in the ball game for the first time. Reisman spin move right into the body of Ekbuna. No problem for Reisman.
Yeah, Jordana Reisman has been kind of the screener or helping somebody get open. She's got to be a factor in the paint.
All 6 of her points have come in this quarter. Again, great defense by the Tigers. Out again, Shannon Dowell with the tough move. And Carly Weathers left wide open in the corner. 3 of 16 from deep. But Jordana Reisman, she's starting to heat up.
Well, Reisman, the determination that she went to score, because she initially started out, had Carly Weathers on her, a smaller person. Now the help had to come. Somebody's got to also be cutting on that backside to give her an option when she gets double teamed.
The senior out of Wisconsin, Jordana Reisman, trying to guard inside. In essence, Cody back in the game. She's trying to front Cody. Weathers on the drive. And Tamia Scott, a good look from 3. That one goes down. Tamia Scott, who had just 2 points in their last regular season game against Texas. Prior to that, a great stretch. She was in double figures, averaging 17 a game. Foul on the floor.
You were talking about trying to front Essence Cody. When you do that, you're going to get over-rotated. And so if you will make the extra, not just the first pass out, but that second pass, that's where Alabama's going to get the open looks from three.
And the top 3% shooting team in the country has struggled so far tonight, but positive sign. And now Smith pulls up, no, gets her own rebound, goes back at it again, and it rolls in. Jayla Smith, the fifth-year senior out of Indy.
Look, in the SEC tournament, the key is getting stops. Yeah, both teams' nerves, especially in game one, shots might not fall, but it's getting defensive stops both teams have to really focus on.
And also the impact of offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities. We saw that there with Jayla Smith.
That's what I'm talking about. With the defense, you get the first shot to miss. You can't allow those second chance opportunities.
Essence Cody, the junior at the line. She had to work through some injuries throughout the season. You mentioned she missed that Missouri game, 7 in total.
Yeah, prior to getting injured, though, I thought Essence Cody had come in this year with a monster dominant mentality. I liked her post moves. I liked how she's finished with both hands around the rim. But when you have that kind of injury, you also lose a little bit of your conditioning.
It's a Thompson bounce pass inside and flipped up by Tolman. And Rika Tolman sees it go out of bounds. It's going to be Alabama basketball.
Rika Tolman's the only freshman on this team. And she's got the courage to be in the battle and the fight. But you got to recognize when you don't have it, it's early in the shot clock. Kick it out, repost, get it back.
Swinging around, Mizzou and Bama last played in the second round back in 2021. Bama coming out on top there. And how about Tamia Scott knocking down a couple of triples in the back half of this quarter?
Alabama's really, they're unselfish and willing to give up a good shot for a great one.
Trying to stop Grace Slaughter. She has had some looks around the basket, just not able to see him fall in.
Yeah, she's 1 for 7, Slaughter is from the floor.
The kick out, Tamia Scott. She's already hot, falls down on that three-point attempt, gets back up. Tries to slow Thompson as that one too long for the junior.
Alabama has 9 assists on 10 made field goals. When they're willing to make that extra pass, they're getting the shots in rhythm and the shots they want.
We talked about how this Alabama team who's coming in limping a little bit, lost 5 of their last 6. Christy Curry mentioned just how important it was for her group to get that win against Florida during that stretch on the road in Gainesville. And for Missouri, we're just trying to see things turn around, drop their last 6.
Yeah, Kelly Harper told us she wants a bid into the WBIT. She wants this team to have playing experience as she builds for next year.
Scott pulls up again from 3, no. And a quick trip down the floor for Alabama. Let's see if the Tigers can do something on there. And Shannon Dowell for 3.
Yeah, not having Jordana Reisma on the floor really hurts Missouri rebounding-wise.
We talked about just where Grace Slaughter can go all over the floor, so she's playing the 5 right now. Small lineup for Mizzou. They go over the top to Essence Cody, taking advantage of it. Count that. And the old-fashioned three-point play upcoming for the time.
Well, that's when you don't have Reisma on the floor. if you're going to front the post, you got to bring help early, and it's going to be the responsibility on the backside to cover 2 on the shot out, because if you allow the ball to come over the top and nobody there, Cody's going to make you pay.
This Alabama team projected to be a 6th seed in Charlie Crean's bracketology. Right now, they've got a 31-17 lead over Missouri.
And yesterday, Christy Curry talked to us about, listen, and she's got the right mentality. When you start the SEC tournament, it's a new season. Look, you got to forget about the records you had in the past, focus on the good things that you did, and carry that over into postseason play.
Under 2 minutes to go in the half, an 8-0 run for Alabama.
Missouri changed defense now back into a man-to-man.
Austin picks up her dribble. Got to get moving. Timmons right there. Good look. Defers to Weathers, who kicks back out to Timmons with the shot clock winding down. And just not falling for Jessica Timmons.
This important possession for Missouri right now.
Moved over, got a better look. Abby Schreck with the patience on the offensive end and knocks it down.
Yeah, Abby Schreck hits 36%. She's made 59 threes on the season, and she needed to see one go through the hoop.
Cody couldn't finish, and now a chance to trim the lead to single digits for Mizzou in the final minute. Sotel kicks it back and steps on the baseline, turns it over. And now 7 turnovers for the Tigers in this first half. So Ace Austin, one of the fresh faces in the league who has grown up for Christy Curry. And just boots it out of bounds, but boy, the dynamic freshman that we have seen throughout. Aubrey Galvin, of course, winning SEC Freshman of the Year.
Leah Chavez, another freshman point guard in this league. Look, that's no easy assignment.
Not at all. Foul away from the basketball. Offensive foul goes against Missouri. And now with 23.1 seconds left, Essence Cody's going to check back in, and Bama can look for the last shot and try to stretch out their lead some more.
And what is Alabama going to do? Put their 2 scorers. You got Jessica Timmons in one corner, Diana Collins in the other. Run a ball screen with Essence Cody. You got plenty of options.
Timmons had a look, trying to find Scott, deflected by Sotel, and it's 4.3 seconds remaining in the half. So Tyler checks back in for Missouri. Carly Weathers set to inbound it inside, looking at Essence Cody one-on-one with Grace Slaughter. Tries to work baseline, and an offensive foul called against Cody. So Essence Cody picks up her 2nd personal foul just before the end of the half.
Look, you got 1.8 seconds. If you can get a run out.
Instead, holding, so an 11-point lead for the 11 seed Alabama Crimson Tide after the first 2 quarters in the final game here of the first round. Now let's send it to the studio for the Academy Sports and Outdoors halftime report. Alyssa, go ahead and take it away.
Overall, as a team, they're 5 of 13. She's 1 of 7 by herself.
Well, she scored in double figures in all SEC games this season. We mentioned just 3 points thus far in this game. The Tigers will look for their leading scorer to get moving here in the second half. But good start as Chloe Sotel comes and knocks down a 3 out of the locker room.
And how that happens for Missouri is you've got to get Reisman touches. When she gets touches, the offense shrinks, and then that'll open up some three-point shots for the Tigers.
Collins airmails that. Scott couldn't handle it. It's Missouri basketball. And so Grace Slaughter and company looking to inch their way back in it. Hey, folks, this is one of the best scorers in the Southeastern Conference this season in Grace Slaughter.
Yeah, she averages almost 19 points a game.
And the duck underneath, no. A little tangle up there with Shannon Dowell and Cody. Kicked out. Tamia Scott had it halfway down and pop out. Well, Alabama was 5 of 14, or rather 5 of 21 in that first half from 3.
Yeah, both these teams like to pull it from long distance, but haven't connected as frequently as they would like.
That one deflected by Sotel, who's off to a great start. The sophomore out of Stamford, Connecticut. Pulls up the lefty, back iron. Timmons, the deep 3. And Jessica Timmons has had a tough shooting performance as well. So the 2 leading scorers on these teams just not seeing the ball go through the hoop. Slaughter, and the number of looks that she's had around the basket, CP, they have been there, they just not dropped.
Yeah, she's got to use her post patience, but also know where she is and where the defense is before she catches it, so she can go right to her move. If she catches and gathers too long, that's allowing a double team to come.
1,000-point score for the Tigers. And we've seen the improvement of Grace Slaughter over her years from last year to this year. There's been a bump in points and rebounds.
How about her commitment to the pro? This is her 3rd year, coaching change, and she still makes the decision to come back and play in her home state, play for Kelly Harper.
You have to applaud the Missouri Gatorade Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American, and loving donning the Mizzou uniform. How challenging is it for players to acclimate to a new system with a new coach and vice versa?
I think it's easy for a player that knows their skill set. So, you know, I can adjust or adapt if the coach brings in a different system, but I know I got all that in my game. I'm okay with it. Look at the hustle. She plays so hard. Kelly Harper loves the way that Grace Slaughter also works on every aspect of her game.
And that is the way to reinvigorate your team coming out of the locker room. Great hustle play. And the finish by Jordana Reisman, but a 6-0 run to open this 3rd quarter for Missouri.
And Missouri came out of that locker room, said, it ain't over till it's over. I need to deliver that punch right out of the locker room. They've cut this thing to 5. We got us a good one.
First crew coming out strong out of the locker room to start this 3rd quarter as her team draws within 5. And then, of course, you know, she wants to put on for her family. The team wants to do a great job. The Harper family in attendance. Son Jackson over there on the left. And there you go.
And there's Kylie. There's her husband, John. I got to believe coaching is in the blood. Kelly played for her dad in high school. And Jackson, when you watch him in games, he's coaching on the sidelines. So I think that's in his future as well.
Well, he's got to like the way that this Missouri team has come out of the locker room falling, and Weathers still maintains the dribble. Bama with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Scott over the Weathers, got to put it up. 3 won't fall, but Collins tracking down the offensive rebound, and again.
There's a little extra pep in the step of the Missouri Tigers offensively in this zone. They're moving, acting, moving, covering for each other. You see talking, communication.
Inside to Ekbuna, and Ekbuna is able to muscle it in. We talked about just how they had their way in the paint in the first meeting. 12 tonight compared to 42 back in January.
Well, and Alabama's playing a post down. They don't have Naomi Jones, a 6'4" sophomore, to be able to play.
Reisma can knock it down from 3, and boom, there she does it. Jordana Reisma now with 11 points. She's 5 of 6 from the floor. They're keeping it on the perimeter, back to Weathers.
You see, every time the ball swings, Missouri's got 3 players in the paint.
Weathers, another look from 3, won't fall. Shrek comes down with the rebound. Shannon Dowell, spin move, leaves it short. Reisma is there, one-possession ball game.
This night session definitely heated up.
Well, we saw a 1-point win for Auburn just before as they took down Texas A&M, 15 seed, winning for the first time in an SEC tournament game, and now the lower seed Missouri Tigers trying to advance on.
What Missouri's doing right now, playing a game of chess. As well as Alabama can shoot the 3, until they're shooting that 3 consistently, they're really playing conservative with that zone, and Alabama's fallen into that, settling for the 3-point shot.
Now remember, you asked a question to Kelly Harper about how they would approach Alabama because they are such a strong team from deep. Dowell. Reisma falls down, Dowell driving, baseline, kicks it over. Slaughter with the move. Jordana Reisma bringing her A game here in this third quarter. She's responsible for the last 7 Missouri points.
When it's tournament time and you know you got to play to stay, you come out punching in that third quarter. Missouri does not want to go home.
Taking a look at this Alabama team, 21-9 overall. Their net ranking at 28. They closed out the regular season. They had 3 of the top 5 teams in the NCAA on their schedule to close out the regular season. Bracketology, Charlie Cream has them currently as a 6 seed, one of 10 teams out of the SEC.
And what Alabama wants to do, you want to maintain being on that 6 seed. You don't want to, trickle down, let teams jump you, and you end up in an 8 seed. That 8-9 game is really hard. But I think the committee's got to take into consideration what you talked about. Don't just look at how they finished the last 10 games without taking into consideration how tough the final part of their SEC season. That was backloaded, and so they had to play some of the top-ranked teams in the country in the SEC.
Christy Curry was trying to get some clarification. As Grace Slaughter has 2 free throws, knocks down the first.
Alabama really needs to get Jessica Timmons going. Timmons right now 1 for 10 from the floor. And against this zone, screen it. Make 2, guard 1. Give Timmons an opportunity to drive to the basket.
Instead, they go inside to Essence Cody, who pushes it too strong. And Jayla Smith trying to climb Reisma. They go back over to the left side again. Kick it over. Sotel pulls up for 3. And Jennings comes away with it. We talk about the experience of this Alabama team. Jessica Timmons falls to the floor, did not play in this game last year, returned from injury, having a career year. But not having the outing she would like in this first game of the SEC tournament. Timmons, got to move with it. Jennings, the three is no good. Smith, no. Reisma and Cody get tangled up and poked away and saved by Chloe Sotel inside. The bounce pass taken away by Carly Weathers. And out and running in transition, Diana Collins lays it in with the left. The ball just kind of bounced back and forth the last couple of possessions.
What did I talk about in the last game? Composure. When a game is tight, you can't get overexcited. Can't get too high with the high, too low with the lows, but just one possession at a time.
Reisma 6 of 7 tonight. On the drive, and Sanaya Tyler is fouled.
After Carly Weathers got that steal, Collins is running. They've in great condition. Their starters have had to play a lot of minutes. Collins is that energizing bunny for the Tide.
They've assisted on 12 of their 13 makes tonight. Diana Collins and Sanaya Tyler to the line. After the game, stay tuned for SEC Now as our crew recaps an exciting day of action here from Greenville with highlights, analysis, interviews, and a look ahead at the storylines for tomorrow. Interesting also to note that Diana Collins picked up her 4th personal foul, so she's on the bench, and the freshman Ace Austin in.
Yeah, it's good that Alabama has Ace Austin back. She missed the last 2 games of the regular season.
The continuation and one. And Jessica Timmons with a drive to the basket. Have you wanted to see more of that from her?
Absolutely, not just settling for shooting the ball from outside. She's 0 for 6 from the three-point line, and a lot of times to get a score going, she got to get a play like this. And you know what? It gives you a little extra juice when you can make that a three-point play.
The team all-conference, and Timmons missing there. Little gallop there from Dowell. Tried to force it inside to Reisma, who's able to corral it. And settling. And then turned over. Carly Weathers looking, finds Timmons in the corner for 3. And pushed in the back as Weathers tried to put it back in.
Well, a smart play by Weathers, too, not bringing it down, staying in the act of shooting so she gets to go to the free throw line. If she'd come down with that and got fouled on the floor, that wouldn't happen.
We've heard Christy Curry talk about Carly Weathers, the type of heady plays that she makes, not necessarily flashy, but good fundamentals. And when you think about Jessica Timmons, who was not here, or available rather, last year due to injury, it was Carly Weathers who helped to kind of fill in the role along with...
Well, you had Sarah Ashley Parker and Aaliyah Nye that were getting it done in the tournament.
They, along with Zay Green, went on to the WNBA. There's Sarah Ashley Parker. There she is. Currently in her phone, however,
But she's been playing basketball in this off-W season. She was in Nashville playing for the AU. I mean, this, and then I've seen her in different games. She is a basketball junkie.
I love the gamer that she was. I just enjoy watching her play as Cody with the block. Timmons once again aggressive to the rack, blocked by Mizzou. Dowell in, and Cody got a piece of her.
See, that's what Dowell is so good with. Once she gets it, puts her head down, decides to attack the basket. Against Oklahoma, she had 33 attacking, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line.
Junior, one of 7 transfers into this Missouri program this season. and averaging better than 15 points a game. You go back to that Oklahoma game that you mentioned, 64% from the floor, registered a double-double in that outing.
14 of 22. And then we heard Nell Fortner talk about how she loved Dow because, look, Nell loves the guards. Loves to see him attack.
Timmons just not able to connect from long range inside. Around the bucket, no. Weathers with another opportunity. And Jennings pulls the three and got it. The senior out of New Zealand with the bucket, and now Ace Austin leads the break off the turnover.
Oh, gosh, Jennings is open. You got to go back to her. Now, the freshman Ace Austin got a wreck. Now, who just hit that last three? You got to check that hot hand.
Dowell finds Slaughter. Slaughter looking. Sotel quickly pulls. And look frenzied there in that possession for Missouri as Weathers slows in the half court, looking for the final shot of the third quarter. 4-point lead for Bama. Stepped on the end line, and a turnover for Alabama with 4.5 seconds left. And Mizzou trying to pull closer. And by Weathers, stays with Mizzou.
You got to get the ball to Dow. 3.8 seconds in her quickness. She can get it and go.
Instead, Abby Schreck comes in for the freshman to inbound it. In the hands of Dow across half court. Tough shot, put up, and rims off. Nearly went down for Shannon Dowell.
Alabama right now up 4. Jennings with Collins on the bench, pulling the trigger, knocking down the three. Can the Tide hang on in this fourth quarter to live to play another day tomorrow? That's going to be, I think Kentucky wants a rematch. Georgia won that first one. Claire Strack only had 9 points in that game. She brings the offense she had this morning. It could be turnaround.
Oh yeah, 20 and 13 for Strack, a double-double as Austin launches the three and gets it to fall to start this fourth quarter. And I'm gonna go back to something that Kenny Brooks told our SEC Now crew earlier. He told Clara Strack that she is the worst superstar. You gotta know how to play the psychology with your players. He knows Clara Strack and how to bring the best out of her, and we saw a great one.
And now Missouri going with the chin action. This is what I was looking for them to go to all year long. Pull Reisma up and give opportunity either for Slaughter to post up or cuts to the basket.
Just heaved up. Great defense, though, by Alabama. Coming up empty there. Now Weathers kicks over. Austin going for another three. She got it. Back-to-back threes for the freshman.
Carly Weathers, headsy play. Ace Austin had hit a three the previous trip down. What does Weathers do? Go back to the hot hand.
Jennings comes away with it. Beat her. She's hot. She's on fire. Ace Austin. Okay. 9-0 run all by herself.
Look, when you want to start a run, you check the temperature first of all. That went, second time down. Why not come for a little heat check? Well, you hit 2, you on fire. You better give her that last one. 3 in a row had the Tide in control.
Ace Austin on the last 3 trips down the floor talking about who's gonna check me, boo. 3 straight threes from the freshman. four-star recruit out of the state of Alabama, two-time Alabama Gatorade Player of the Year. And when you think about Father Ricky, Mom Dana helped to groom her into the player that she is today.
I think that's given her the confidence of a player who did not score in the first 3 quarters of this ball game. In the 4th quarter said, hold my Gatorade. I got this.
Father Ricky was her high school coach. Her mom was an assistant. And now watching their daughter blossom here in her first season at Alabama in her first ever SEC tournament. Inside, Reisma, and good looking find for Jordana Reisma. Well, she continues to be a bright spot. 15 points for Reisma, 7 of 8 from the floor.
Now, the way that Alabama's been shooting the 3, Missouri's had to switch up and go to a man-to-man.
Looking inside to Essence Cody, front rim. Poked away, and Tamia Scott coming up with it. Carly Weathers launching from 3, no. Remember, Austin gonna have to stay on the floor for a little bit with Diana Collins on the bench with 4 personal fouls, but you've got the experience of someone like the Carly Weathers who has been here, done that.
And Jessica Timmons is at the scorer's table to check in. And she has struggled tonight from the floor. 1 for 9. No, 2 for 14. Check that.
Tamia Scott. No, Cody holds it high and she's fouled. We'll tune in to one of the best gymnastics meets of the weekend. Number 2 LSU takes on 4th-ranked Florida in Gainesville. Sunday coverage begins at 6 Eastern right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. So Timmons back on the floor for Alabama. Ace Austin. She does it again. 4 threes for Ace Austin.
Look at the look on the face of Ace Austin. She is loving it. She's feeling very comfortable in this 4th quarter.
Timmons pushing, looks to the right. Austin asking for it again. They find her again. Can she make it 5 in a row? No.
That's okay, I'm going back to it.
And Carly Weathers with a big heads-up play, but this one tying a career high when she drains this one.
You know a shooter wants to shoot because ball can be away from her. She had her hands ready. I mean, the pocket was there. All you got is hit me, and she's ready to pull the trigger.
She has had the hot hand. Ace Austin, 12 points in this quarter. Timmons on the old board and stick back.
Nothing has come easy for Jessica Timmons. She's glad to see that one go in.
On the other side, you've got under 6 minutes to go. And if you're Missouri, you don't want to let this lead balloon. What do you have to do?
You got to go right there to Grace Slaughter.
The hoop and the horn for Slaughter, who too has had a tough night.
And what Kelly Harper has done is inverted Reisma and Slaughter. Brought Reisma to the high post to give room for Slaughter to post up.
We talked about just the versatility of Grace Slaughter.
You think about what's going through these players' minds. You saw them look up at the score and how much time is left. So is your SEC season over tonight? You got to leave it on the floor.
Seven to go on the shot clock. Timmons shakes. Scott drives. Looking for somewhere to go. And a good defensive effort and possession there for Missouri to hold Alabama. And Kelly Harper, who spent 5 seasons at the University of Tennessee, led Lady Vols to 2 Sweet 16s, and now trying to build for this program in Como in her first year with the Tigers. Tyler kicks. And the over and back and the turnover. The SEC championship game coming your way Sunday, 3 p.m. on ESPN. Still plenty more games leading up to it. We'll see Georgia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Tennessee in action for the first time. South Carolina seeking 4 straight championships.
Look, you can't even use a pencil to fill in your bracket in advance because anything can happen over these next few days.
No doubt. Vandy coming in as a 2 seed, looking hot. Always a dangerous Texas team, along with LSU, the top 4 seeds.
I mean, you can go all the way down the list.
I mean, there's no chill in the SEC. Like, that's the thing about it. You've heard us talk about it all season long. The gauntlet that is. And it should be another fun few days. 11 more games to go. You like to see what Jessica Timmons is at least doing in the second half. She was settling for outside shots in the first half. She's hunting more of her shots and trying to attack the rim in the second half.
What's showing me that her team still has confidence in her and trying to help her build the confidence in herself. Carly Weathers had the ball at the top. Now, it would have been a deep 3, but it's a shot that she has taken and made. But what does she do? Give that up and give the ball back to Jessica Timmons to let her kind of get a rhythm going.
I mean, this is a player that averaged better than 17 points in SEC play. She finished out strong in that regular season finale loss to Texas with 24 points. But as you mentioned, she's had the fight and claw for every point as that offensive rebound brought in by Carly Weathers.
Carly Weathers wants to keep playing in this tournament.
Well, she's got 15 rebounds tonight as Bama's leading rebounder on the season. Scott pulls up near the free throw line, rattles it in. Tamia Scott now one of 4 Alabama players in double figures.
We talked about that 15 rebounds by Carly Weathers. That's just want to, and she plays with such gratitude for just the appreciation for the opportunity to be able to play the game. I love players that love and respect the game like that.
The take to the hoop by Jayla Smith, and much needed timeout taken immediately after that bucket from Missouri. A lot can happen in this final 3+ minutes. Missouri is trailing. Well, records being set as we start Champ Week. Big 12 tournament record with Kansas State. I mean, on fire from 3. They knocked down 17 threes. Kentucky downing Arkansas, their largest SEC tournament win in program history. And then Miami taking down Stanford in OT. This is the time of year.
Parenting in women's basketball. It doesn't matter what that number is. When they tip it up, get you some popcorn and a cold drink and sit back and enjoy some basketball.
Diana Collins back on the floor and immediately making a difference. It was sluggish for Alabama from long range, but now 11 made threes beyond the arc tonight on 38 attempts.
They put it up, but Alabama in that first half had only made 5.
Chasing down that rebound, Grace Slaughter just couldn't hang on to it. And right now, Slaughter and the Missouri Tigers got to get to work and got to get stops here on the defensive end if they want to pull back in this one.
Yeah, Slaughter's going to need some help. It's like she has done Carly Weathers' work on the board. She's got 11 rebounds by herself.
Austin inside, but that SEC logo and floats it in. Boy, Ace Austin has come in and played some impactful minutes and put up 14 points in her time on the floor.
She's just such a mature freshman, being able to handle the moment.
Smith for 3? No. Weathers grabbing another rebound. Up ahead into Scott.
Alabama's getting back to that team before they hit that skid. You can see that rhythm. It began to build that third quarter now into the fourth, and a lot of that confidence had to do with the freshman, Ace Austin. This is how Alabama likes to, get out in transition. The freshman, good decision, not go too deep into the lane, pull up, little floater. The maturity of that freshman, what she's been able to contribute tonight, especially with Diana Collins, their starting point guard, getting into some foul trouble, having that kind of depth has been important for Alabama.
Slaughter and one. Grace Slaughter gets the bucket, is fouled, and will head to the line.
Yeah, Missouri, this is a team that normally averages 73 points a game, and right now, only 45. And you got to compliment the Alabama defense. They have made every look pretty much for Missouri pretty tough.
"32 straight games for Grace Slaughter with 10 or more points, but the effort may be too late as Missouri saw her drop 8 points in this second half. And when we asked Christy Curry just about how she felt about her team, again, the tough close to the season, regular season, she said, look, we're coming in, the temperature of this team is high. We're feeling good, because it's the start of a new.
That's right. That's why she wants to get a bid to the WBIT. She wants these players to continue to play. Alabama Christy Curry has really liked how this team has weathered the storm in the season. She has talked about how it's been tough, but this has built resiliency and building for the postseason. She said, she knows they're in the tournament, but now you want to learn from those situations to be able to build and continue to dance in March.
And the idea that Ace Austin has come here in this fourth quarter and has been able to drop 14 points in her first ever SEC tournament game only bodes well for the Tide as they continue to march on.
14 points in the second half. Like, she didn't have any points in that first half. In the first 3 quarters, all it's been as of late to really extend this lead.
Final minute in this one, but for the Missouri Tigers, you talked about it, Carolyn, just the importance of being able to put together 16 wins in Kelly Harper's first season, and they're not done. They want more. They want the opportunity to still play in the postseason.
Yeah, they got 3 seniors, Jayla Smith, Jordana Reisma and Sanaya Tyler. This group wants to stay together, continue to play as long as possible.
There's Tyler Reisma and Slaughter looking on. Lane violation, and so they'll get another crack at it. And when you think about Reisma comes in, final SEC game, Sanaya Tyler, the same. They left it all out here, just gonna come up a little short as there is a quick interruption.
I think they were checking to make sure who was the lane violation. It was Tiana Chambers went in a little bit too soon.
And Dowell strokes it in.
We saw Alabama, what we see in SEC in this tournament. Little nerves, and yeah, a little anxious to start off, but Alabama seems to have settled in and very comfortable now. I think with 30 seconds, 7 seconds, you can say advancing on, and we will see them on Thursday.
It'll be the nightcap once more tomorrow night, the second round against the 6-seeded Tennessee Lady Vols. And so that will be the last game on our slate. We'll see Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Georgia will start things off tomorrow.
I'll have to rest up early because that's going to be a full day of 4 games you're not going to want to miss.
And just hard-fought games, right? I mean, you know, Georgia just brings a...
Oh, what a turnaround Coach Abe has from last year to this year. Getting a player like Mia Woolfolk healthy. Big post presence. Oh, Danny Carnegie has put on a show this season.
Ball pinballing around. Toman gets the rebound, and the closing seconds of this one. Dowell. And the season will come to a close for the Missouri Tigers here at the SEC tournament. They're hoping for more in the postseason. Meanwhile, Kristen Curry and her team advances with a 65-48 win over the Missouri Tigers.
I just wonder, did Alyssa Lang and Nell Fortner send that heater down? Because Alabama definitely heated up in that second half, specifically from the three-point line.
Yeah, Ace Austin was mighty toasty from beyond the arc. First SEC tournament win for Bama since 2022. They will rest up and get ready for Tennessee coming your way tomorrow night. So after